all these benefits, how you can really get the full benefit, not the partial benefit, is depending upon your devotion, depending upon your concentration, your visualization. So if you are able to do this correctly, definitely then all these healing powers, all these benefits, you can receive that for sure. Just very recently, in one of our Dharma brother, maybe a few years ago, he was doing a retreat in Nepal, and he was so sick, and then he made a commitment that, let's say, for until he finishes his retreat, he's not going to see anyone, not going to see doctors and all this. But then he was doing on, I think, practice on Guru Rinpoche practice, and then his family was worried about him and wanted him to go and see a doctor. So he said that, no, I'm not going to go and see the doctor. Even if I die, it's okay. I'll be happy to die rather than go and see a doctor. And, then he made that commitment and said that even if I die, it's okay. I don't want to go out. And then once you made that commitment, then the healing started the next day. That became more and more better and better. And then he didn't have to go to see the doctor. So he saved his bills. And then maybe the doctors were out of jobs. So like that. So it depends upon your commitment, that how strong that you are. So in our case, when you get sick, then even though you're not sick, you try to make excuses that you're sick and then want to go here and there, even when you're doing this retreat or even just sitting for 1-2 hours. So we always make excuses. So if you make that commitment, definitely, so all those benefits looks like can happen. So it's all about the mind thing, right? Everything comes to one thing, that's mind, and coming to you, coming to us, that we are the one. So like that, then always the mind training is very important, and as always to do and practice this. So we have to see that how fortunate that we are in this degenerating time, especially in Tibet. It was so nice. I guess Dharma wise was definitely nice. And then after 59, so all those Tibetan lamas were scattered and then have to go all these different places. And then it was established in India, right, and able to continue India and Himalayan areas. And then now in the West, I guess about 30 or almost 30 years or so, right? Maybe KPC was here for 28 years or something like that. So it's quite long, 28 years. So it's very good. So through the blessing of our holiness, late holiness, present holiness, then Jejunma and your hard work, so this place is still surviving. So when you have this opportunity, then we have to do our best to do whatever our lamas give us the instructions. So why the lamas want to practice is not because then if there are more students, then lama will become higher rank, like all those business guys. So when you have more customers, then you become big and big, right? So it's not like that. When the lamas have more students, then the lama become fatter and bigger and gain more weight. So it's or lamas are pampered with all these things. So that's not the purpose, I guess. A true lama would like to see in the student doing the genuine practice and the genuine transformation. So that would be the biggest offering to our Lama, to ourselves. If you are treating yourself, then practicing Dharma would be a good treat for yourself too, for ourselves too. Because as said here, like even reciting one Mani mantra with pure intention, right, devoting to, having devotion to Avalokiteshvara, then you skip one time to take rebirth in hell realm. That's a big deal, right? That's a big bonus, I would say. Just say Om Mani Padme, it doesn't take even 1 second, right? So if you're able to do that, that's how wonderful it is. So knowing that, the preciousness of the Dharma, so how precious, how rare it is, then trying to do our best to do these practices would be like a gift to yourself, gift to ourselves. So try to do that. And then how you can do these practices is, of course, we can have this practice done in various ways. As this text was saying, that there are 84,000 kinds of teachings, boils down to only two verses. So if you just keep on repeating that, just this Tendal Ningpo, and knowing that everything is interdependent, so in that all the Dharma is included. And that interdependent is especially kind of emphasized in Vajrayana. How you do that is now saying that by creating this spacious, auspicious, interdependent temple to your body, then the wisdom will and give rise in your heart. So that temple is externally. Then we have, of course, all these different instruments, then robes that we wear. There's all this, the Ngakpa robes or the monks' robes. So these are something that kind of creating that temple, the good auspicious connection to practice Dharma, so that we will be practicing Dharma all the time. And then when we are doing these practices, according to Vinaya, is saying that wherever there are the ordained Sangha, so then you can consider that there is a place where the Buddha Dharma is flourishing. That doesn't mean that the non-ordained ones you're excluded from becoming Buddhism. It's kind of like the core group. It's almost like all these centers. We have around 4, 5, I think 6, 7 centers around America. So we have, like, let's say 10, 15 of the core practitioners. So they are like a ground, unshakable all the time. And then, so when they are doing their regular practices, then some teachers visiting, then the others also get chance to practice because of there is a ground, there solid kind of like that. Then that kind of ground looks like should be created by the ordained sanghas. So ordained sanghas are not only just expecting respects and others, but also have these responsibilities. So, and then when you decide to take ordination, so it is something like of a great, even is saying that thinking of taking ordination is lots of virtue, lots of merit that you have. Like taking refuge, taking ordination is something which is very precious. And especially in the West, the ordained Sangha is kind of a dying species, So it grows, and so it's a critical time. So if it's a critical time, then you need more attention, right? So that you can keep on surviving, keep on flourishing. So it is very important to, like as Jetsunma emphasized, like whoever wants to take ordination, so you take that ordination. And when after taking that ordination, then try to keep it as pure as possible. So then it is one of the wondrous thing that one has ever done. The best thing that you have ever done in all these lifetimes. Nagarjuna says that, you might have become the king of the three existence. You might have become the Roman emperor, right? Empress, or you might have become a Greek emperor or empress, or king, or the emperor of China many times. Or you can think about the president of America, right? So you might have been one of those. Some of you may be the incarnation of George Washington. Yet, then it doesn't last, So here what he says is now, so you might have been the king of this whole universe many times, but you have never taken the robe. And today, this time is the only time that you are taking this robe. So seeing that how rare it is, how precious it is. So knowing that the rarity of it, and try to acknowledge that its rarity, and try to keep that very pure, is very important. Then it will be like, creating opportunity to others, sowing the seed of liberation, and creating the foundation of the Buddha Dharma. So by then seeing all these wonderful things can happen, like as ordination, taking this ordination, that doesn't necessarily mean that to get enlightened one have to get ordained. But once you have made that decision, then it is you need to keep that very pure. So if we are not able to keep that promise, then it's also saying that it kind of become an habit. When you break the first promise, then you break the second promise, then break the third promise. So it becomes the habit in this life also. And then that kind of the breaking can become the habits in next lives. And then maybe that one-time opportunity is already gone, and such opportunity may never ever come again in many, many lifetimes. You have to wait in line, for kalpas and kalpas. So looking at all these possibilities, then try to keep the vows that you have taken to the pure, and then also thinking that taking this vow is like even by wearing these robes, is saying that you can whoever see you, is sowing the seed of liberation, saying that the Buddhist monk is there, right, in the supermarket. A Buddhist nun is there in the supermarket, and then around there, all person there, whether they are Buddhist or whether they are not Buddhist, once they lay their eyes on your this robe, the blessed robe, which is the robe passed on from Buddha Shakyamuni up to us. So you're transmitting that blessing. So then if you stop that, then it is kind of not only stopping your virtue, but the virtue of many to whom you can make kind of subtle connections. So Buddhism never went out spreading the word and trying to convert this and that. So just through our words, and whoever is interested, kind of secretly, this is how we convert people to Buddhism. This is our secret code, you know. But now it's leaked. And then keeping these vows, of course, it can be challenging because we have never done that before. And then even if you want to do that, then it can be challenging. Like, so there are four kind of mistakes. Mashepa, you don't know what you want to have to do, right? What are your precepts? How you do? And then even if you know, then not respecting that. You're not respecting your the vows. You're not respecting your robes. Mashepa, magiba. Then even though you respect, then you lack mindfulness. So you lose your mind alert, mindfulness, being distracted, thinking that something is there more special, more nicer than taking this or wearing these robes. So if you then you can go and buy and with all this this branded how to say dresses, and so it's nothing compared to just these robes. It looks so simple, but it's more costlier than any of these branded in the clothes that you can buy in all these different outlets. So then and then having more emotions, that more afflictive mind. So then we can be distracted. So of this then, the first one, Mashepa, if you don't know how to keep the vows, then you have to learn about these vows, how you have, what are the precepts, what are the root precepts, what are the secondary precepts, how you can protect them. And if you don't respect that, then you have to know and learn how to respect that. Then if you lose your kind of mindfulness, then by relying on our sanghas, by relying on the teachers, seeing that if such things happen, what a shame it will be to myself, what a shame it will be to our lineage, what a shame it will be to the sangha, what a shame it will be to the whole world, even at large, at Americans. So like that, thinking about all these things, bringing shame to me, shame to myself, and then you have to be more mindful. Then then if you have more afflictive emotions, then you need to stop from the very beginning, when it just starts. So that time we need to be aware and stop at the very beginning. Just recently, hope I'm not talking too much. Just recently, when I was in Baltimore, talking to a group of people who wants to do meditation. Then one of our Sangha members maybe told a new student that women cannot touch a monk. And then she was asking after me, "Can I ask you one question?" I said, "Yes." "Why cannot women touch the monks? It doesn't make sense, right? Or are we so dirty that we cannot touch? She didn't ask that. Okay, it's just so maybe this is what was going on in her mind, right? But why can't we turn? So I said that's not the case. It's not about you, but it's about the monk. So it's like so person then so that can escalate, no? That can, so just touching and becoming friend, and then that intimacy can become more and more stronger. At one point, then you cannot cut it right away. So that is why then we have these root precepts and then secondary precepts and all these levels, all this, even those minor. So in the Vinaya is talking about like what you really want to grow. For example, is like a mango. So what you really want to grow is the mango trees. And when you're growing that mango trees, around that you have to also grow all these bamboos as a fence. So actually you don't want to grow the bamboo. It's useless, right? Maybe it can be used, but what you really need is the mango. But to create a fence for all those in India, the elephants, monkeys, so that the bamboo with the thorn, right? So that's so why they grow that was to fence defend the mango. What you really need. So likewise, what we really need is to, whether we are ordained or not ordained, is to observe our mind and then reduce our afflictive emotion as the best we can. And to make that happen, then there are all this kind of buffer zone, so that that cannot be. So to keeping that distance. So that is one of the reasons why all these minor precepts are kept, so that by keeping these minor precepts, then it will help you to keep the main precepts that you are holding. So so to think about all this and then to practice generally the Dharma and whatever commitment to the best we can is very important. It will, of course, it's challenging, but that in what you guys say was that everything comes with a price, right? Yeah. So if everything comes with a price, then you have to pay the price. So they're thinking about in that way, then it's something that only a human being can do that. Otherwise, the food and the water and companions looks like not only humans, there are other peoples, right, who can also do that. Other species can do that. Only human being can do that. That's why we are called as precious human beings. Not because all these dogs are not so cute, no. So they are also very cute. They are also very smart. All those birds are cute and smart. Right? All the aviator, if you go, aviary. So if you go there, all those birds are so beautiful, right? So, but that doesn't mean that they can do what human beings can do. So thinking about all these opportunities that we have created by our great teachers, Buddha Shakyamuni and our teachers. So it's time for us to grasp it and not let go of that. And then keeping these vows, like how maybe I told you this story a long time ago, or maybe you might have forgotten. So anyhow, I would like to just conclude with just one story. So when during, I think, Karma Changmit's time, which is like 1600s, so all those practitioners, looks like the Karmapa went to become the teacher of the emperor of China, and he was displaying all this miraculous display. And likewise, then there were all these yogis in Tibet showing their signs of accomplishments, like sometimes leaving footprints on the stones, right? And what else you read? So all these signs of accomplishments, they were displaying that. And then to him, one of his students said, told him, to Karma Changme, that you too have to display something to others, otherwise people may not believe you. You have to either keep some footprints or some handprints, or have some visions or something, otherwise people will not believe in you. So what he said was, he said that of all these signs, bende tsultim tsawani trukta nangne yakshuins. So of all these signs of accomplishment, maintaining the pure discipline is the best signs of accomplishment. So that's beautiful, right? So that doesn't mean, looks like it is not something challenging. So it's worthy of it. So I sometimes say that practicing Dharma is a long-term investment. So if you have that short-term investment, so every week you get a check of whatever you have been investing, right? So if it is a long-term investment, looks like it takes some time, but when that check comes, it comes maybe in big numbers, So likewise, so when you don't hope for these checks to come every week, So just wait and be patient. So if you're more patient, more relaxed, and wait for more kind of the bigger check that's on the way, so that would be better than just taking this short-term kind of investments. Yeah. So that's all, and yeah. So I'm so happy to come here always. To see you all and discuss some teachings. So I just teach these teachings, but I don't really put it into practice. So at least then I can share, and we can work together to do all these practices. And then generally is saying that in this degenerating time, so any practitioner is to even an attempt to do the practice is a miracle, What I usually say is, today is not a nice weather, so if it's a nice sunny day, then you can just go hiking or walking or take a vacation instead of coming to this temple, right? The same old temple, coming back again and again. But then some people are willing to come and do these practices. So it in itself is a sense of, that giving the importance of practicing Dharma. And then when you come, also make some time to at least receive this teaching. If you're coming one session, I would say that at least to make that one session, completely be able to receive that would be good. And if you don't have time, maybe just come and walk in and walk out. That's also a connection, right? So anyhow, we cannot force anyone or rules to do that. But thinking in that way, so whatever you guys are doing is already a very good job to to practice Dharma generally in this degenerating time, and especially in America where there are lots of distraction, lots of gadgets to play with, with high-speed internet, with 128 bits or whatever you call it. Okay, so thank you, and hope to see you all soon.